Well, let's make a pond. Things we're going to need to do it. First, someplace to put it. Now, foam board works really well. I just took this out to the garage and I routed out a little pond. That's a knot right there. It won't hurt anything. And here's the inflow, and here's the outflow. So you can see the outflow is blocked, so it only flows into the outflow when it's full. And I think we're going to make it pretty full. Things you're going to need: flex paste. That keeps it from leaking. Realistic water. And either water ripples or water waves. And I think I'm going to spice things up by adding a little color to my water. This is moss green. You know, a pond somewhere, moss green, maybe some goop growing on the top of it or something. So the first thing I want to do is I want to paint this so that I have a place to put my pond. So I'm going to paint it and I'll be right back. Okay, I have my pond painted, or the surrounding area. I haven't painted my pond yet. I'm going to use flex paste down in any place that's going to contain water because I don't want it to leak. Now, in actuality, because I'm using plywood, it's very unlikely it's going to leak out. But don't do like I did the one time and I had easy water all over the floor. Paint everything with a thin coat of flex paste. And the inside, which we will paint, inside the pond, down inside it, we're going to paint that. But we're going to paint it on top of the flex paste. If you get a little on it somewhere you don't want it, it's not a big deal. And that was flex paste. Okay, well, I'll see you in a little bit when this sets up. I think our flex paste is dry now. So now it's time to paint. This is my palette. It's sheets of plasticized paper that you could just tear off. It's a whole tablet full of it. It's great stuff because you don't have to clean up your palette or anything. You just rip it off and throw it away. So let's see, I would like to make down in the bottom a very dark green. Yeah, that black is so black that if I'm not careful, the whole pond will be black. Okay. I just wanted to blend it a little bit. That looks pretty good. Okay, well, we'll let that dry and we'll be back. Moving right along here, let's put some water in here. Put a little realistic water in there. And let's give it some color. Now this is very intense, so any better. That's about 7 drops. It's probably too much. No, it's not too bad. Now we let that set up. Sometimes you have to tease it out so that it goes all the way out to the edge. Now we have to let that sit. The water set up overnight, and I'll show that to you in a minute, but I made a template to fit over it because I want to put some grass on it. I'll be right back. To make the scatter mixture that you saw, I used fine turf, green fine turf, light green coarse turf, dark green coarse turf, and most important of all, blended turf. So we'll let that glue set up for a while. I see a couple little spots I'm going to fill in. I took up the cover because we really don't need it anymore. If you find that there are some stray grass pieces in your pond, you don't want them there. I mean, you could leave them there. Ponds have stuff floating around in them. Just drag lightly a piece of scotch or some other tape, the invisible kind, which the adhesive is not quite so strong on, and it'll pick it up. So let's see. Well, this is not a great big lake, so I think we're going to use water ripples instead of water waves. The difference is you can tease the waves up much higher than you can the ripples. And on my lake over here, I used both. But we're going to start with the water ripples. If we don't like what we're getting, then we could do something else. You can also use this to create waterfalls by stretching it out using some freezer paper and stretching out very thin lines of it and then peeling them off and then sticking them wherever you want them. That's what I did on my waterfall. Well, we're just going to make some ripples, and they're going to go across the lake. Like this. Now, it's always hard to see the waves from directly overhead, so I'm going to move the camera down at a lower angle and we'll have a look. Let's look at it from the other side. Oh, this is a great angle. Just a breeze, little breeze. And once you've looked at it from all angles, you may decide that it needs a little more somewhere. Now this material will lay down. It will not stand up very high. Any height that you give it, it will lose. But it does look like the wind is freshening. It's blowing a gale now. Sorry, I keep bumping the camera. I'd say that's probably plenty. I'd say that I've exaggerated the weather considerably. The height of the waves on a little tiny pond like this would not be that high. But I'm just doing it so that you can see what's possible. I was using the waves, the water waves product for this last time. I think I just saw a fish jump. We'll come back when it's completely set up.